Hello everyone, what we're going to talk about today is what is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and how to start the beginning of your journey. So we like to do videos about different stages of the recovery journey. Now, the recovery journey, there's no set guidelines. I hear people say, this is stage 1, this is stage 2, this is stage 3. There's no such thing as stage 1, 2, and 3, and there's a huge gray area. It's like when someone says, how do I know whether I'm in love or not? You don't. It's a gray area that you're never going to be able to figure out. You want to gauge your recovery journey on how you're feeling, but not primarily how you're feeling, how your beliefs are changing. Are you still performing compulsions? Are you still engaging in avoidance behaviors and so forth? So let's jump right into it. How to start recovery, where to find information, and what is OCD recovery. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. Let me know if you just found our channel. Let me know if you're in the beginning of your videos, the beginning of your journey. If you just found our videos, and just give me an overall background about where you are. I go in, I engage with people. I always talk to people to see where they are in their journey, and then we go from there. So in front of me, I have 3 different things I want to talk about in this particular video, and I want to jump right into a history about what is OCD, a practical guideline of what the disorder is. Now, before I go any further into this, I want you to know that you don't have to know anything about dopamine. You don't have to know anything about serotonin. You don't have to know anything about neuroanatomy or neurophysiology. If you want to study that stuff, that's really cool. But understanding that is not going to give you an edge when it comes to OCD and anxiety recovery. The practical application, how it works, what are ups and downs, what are relapses, what are backdoor spikes, morphing themes, etc., why there's no guidelines. Understanding the practical application of OCD recovery is much more important than understanding anything about neuroanatomy and neurophysiology. Again, stuff is cool. I'm a nerd. I know a decent amount about it, especially when I was in school, but it didn't actually aid in my recovery process. We get people that come in, neuroscientists, neurosurgeons, people with masters in neurology, people with psych backgrounds, and they do not understand why their knowledge of anatomy and physiology doesn't correlate over into OCD recovery. There's no correlation whatsoever. Cool, but not for this particular thing. So OCD stands for obsessive compulsive disorder, okay? Obsessions, aka fears, irrational beliefs, compulsions, and avoidance behaviors that keep the engine running. Think about an automatic car, a 6-speed car, okay? The engine is the fear cycle. That's the fear. The gas that you put into the engine is the compulsions, the avoidance behaviors, the rituals, all the things you do to not feel discomfort, which then drives the engine. But you can bring down compulsions and you can bring down avoidance behaviors and self-reassuring statements, which will take you a while to figure all these out, especially if you have chronic OCD. OCD is much deeper than you think. People think, oh, well, I developed OCD 2 months ago and I have a couple compulsions. You have hundreds of compulsions, hundreds. Things that have been going on way before you even had chronic OCD. It's important to realize that. Practical application and the reality is key when it comes to OCD recovery. So the gas runs out of the car, okay? The gas runs out. So you have no compulsions, no avoidance behaviors, no rituals, but maybe the car is still rolling. You're like, what's going on? I'm engaging with life again. I'm doing all these things. Why is the cycle still alive? The cycle is still alive because the fear has not been brought down yet with unconditional self-life, other acceptance. So the fear is the genesis of the OCD cycle. There's no such thing as puro. Puro doesn't exist. Every single person I've ever sat down with who says they have puro, which is understandable, there are a plethora of avoidance behaviors, a plethora of mental rumination, which is primarily automatic, which we're about to talk about. And there is a lot of analyzing. So people will say, I have just obsessions, I have no compulsions. Yes, you do. If I was to walk around with you for a week and watch every movement you make, every sleep routine, every morning routine, every work routine, you have so many behaviors that are attributing to those obsessions. So there is no such thing as puro, and that is so key to break down. Now, you have compulsions and avoidance behaviors, okay? They're basically the same thing. Compulsions and avoidance behaviors are things that you do in order to bring that fear down, in order to bring the chronic shame, the chronic guilt, the physical symptoms of anxiety, groinal responses, depersonalization and derealization, bringing all of those down, and then that's what instills the belief system. Behaviors instill beliefs. If you're performing a behavior, even though you're not thinking a belief system, that behavior is instilling that belief system. They're all connected. Thinking, feeling, and behaving. Ellis, which we're going to talk about, the books on the reading list and where to find them, are key. Comment down below right now. Let me know what you think about this. Are there things you didn't know? Did you not know that fear perpetuated the cycle? This is very, very important to cover. I got my great breakfast coffee right here because coffee is life. Let's be very real. I always see these posts of people, coffee blocks adenosine receptors and it's not really energy. And I just love the comments where people say, I don't care what you say about coffee. I'm drinking it for the rest of my life. That's me. You could say it's bad. You could say it's fake energy. I don't care. Coffee is the shit. And then you have rumination and analyzing. Again, huge gray area. There's an overlap. What do I know what's automatic? How do I know when I'm analyzing? You don't. Just have an understanding that intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, and urges will fire anywhere, any place, anytime you don't want them to be. Weddings, birthday parties, vacations, work, walking your dogs, going to the gym, etc., going to uni, going to college, etc., being around your parents. Those 0 to 100 sensation that OCD sufferers know so well, that is so automatic and that is perpetuated by the belief system. It can't be brought down like people say. I hear people say, well, bring down rumination every single day. It's a horrible piece of advice. It's not that simple. You could stop engaging quicker than you think. Remember, OCD takes orders from beliefs, not thoughts. OCD takes orders from beliefs, not thoughts. Intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges, primarily automatic rumination, are symptoms. Learning how to wear those as you go throughout the recovery process. Now, because I said that, I want you after this video, non-compulsively, go to our acceptance playlists and start to watch some of the videos of how to break down fears. Start applying yourself. Applying yourself is critical. The reason why so many people don't make progress is because a lot of them understand how OCD works, but they're not applying themselves, and that is key. So, understanding in the last part of what OCD is. There's no deadlines, there's no timelines. Everyone recovers at different rates. I'm leaving it at that. You're more than likely going to have morphing themes and more than likely going to have ups and downs. You're more than likely going to have moments of despair. This isn't working. I'm not making improvements. My life is over, etc., etc., etc. And then the keys to the recovery process are unconditional self-life other acceptance, which is on our playlist, acceptance, over 200 videos, and then exposures when needed, time, patience, persistent, all that. Anything in life that requires results, people are always trying to hack them. A life hack, a biohack. There's no life hack and there's no biohack. All you have is simple principles, consistency, patience, learning how to look at something in a calm manner, experiencing discomfort, and moving forward. Ray Dalio's Principles, which we talk about a lot on this channel, is a really good book for learning how this life is a series of frustrations and adapting, changing your perspectives, and moving forward. The second thing I want to talk about how to start your recovery process is finding the correct help and then educating yourself. Mike Maloney, who's a really famous gold and silver investor, someone I love if you're into finance, he has, especially in the precious metal sector, he has something he says. The number one thing you could do for yourself is educate yourself. It's the greatest thing you can do in your life is educate yourself on whatever topic you're trying to learn. So, first thing to cover. Unfortunately, most people just don't understand OCD. It's not their fault. It's not easy to understand, but most people do not understand OCD. Most people are giving reassurance. Most people are going with thoughts or thoughts approach. Let them float. Most people are using exposures incorrectly. Most people do not understand OCD. Again, it's not their fault. We can't hold animosity against them. We don't have to say stuff like OCD is not an adjective. That detracts us from our goal. Our goal is to get better, feel better, and change our beliefs. Not hold animosity against people who don't understand OCD. It doesn't make any sense. You got to lose that. The victim mentality needs to go. It doesn't do you any good. It can't be here if you want to make some progress. Go to our YouTube channel. You're on it. You're here. Go to the playlist and go through. What do you got? Harm OCD, HOCD, sensory motor OCD, depersonalization, derealization, ROCD, existential, POCD, etc., etc., etc. Go through, watch some of the videos, and learn. Educate yourself. That's key. Go to our Facebook page. OCDrecovery.com is our website. I'll go over that in a second. But go to our Facebook page, which is OCD Recovery. We have 17.3 thousand members. We are the fastest growing recovery channel by far. No one even comes close. And that's not because we're out to, put people down. A lot of people say to me, Nick, why do you always say that people don't understand OCD? Because they don't. It's just the truth. I am more than willing to have a conversation with anyone about any topic, no matter what. Forget OCD, politics, money, religion. One thing I've gotten very good at is having conversations with people where we don't agree on. We don't have to agree on everything. But I am going to highlight the reality. Our Facebook page is moderated. We don't allow you to have reassurance. We will turn off comments sometimes if we think it's constant reassurance. We're not doing it because we have animosity against you. We're doing it because we're trying to help you. That's the key. And the most important part of this piece, which is finding help and educating yourself in the very beginning, is accepting that you need help. You more than likely are not going to be able to do this on your own. That's okay. It's not easy to do on your own. You need someone that's been through it for a couple of years. You need someone who could see it from another perspective. You need someone who's walked the trenches, who understands the nitty-gritty details of reassurance, the sneakiness, the tone. Tone is reassurancy, the way they ask it. To the untrained eye, they can say, oh, no, and then give them reassurance. When you pull that with me, I'm not going to give it to you. Again, not because I have animosity against you. It's because I don't want you to stay stuck. That's so key. So key. Okay. Coffee's life. The last thing I want to talk about is ordering the books and where to find them. So if you go to OCDrecovery.com, underneath the resource tab, there are the books. There's 6 books. I want you to read them in order, okay? The books in order: How to Stubbornly Refuse, Self-Help for Your Nerves, Myth of Self-Esteem, Man's Search for Meaning, At Last to Life, Meditations. You can leave Meditations for now. It's a Stoicism book. There's a reason it's number 6. It's a great book. Put it on there last for a reason. Get the books. Read the books. Educate yourself. Break down your fears. Learn about what acceptance is. Learn about those belief systems that are keeping you stuck. Apply the tools. Apply them. Application is key. Knowledge without application is useless. I have made this mistake so many times in my life. I would read and learn for the sake of learning and reading. And I would never actually do anything about it. I never actually tried to get myself better. And that was a key thing I did wrong. It was a mistake I did wrong. It just, it's just the way it was. And I didn't want to apply anything because reading kind of is more comfortable than putting the behaviors into action. And that was that. When you're doing the exercises in the book, I want you to do them on paper. Write them out. I cannot tell you the differences I see. I do enough coaching, work with enough people in the webinars. The people that write the fears down, they actually do that, make the most progress, bar none, not even close. And remember, it's a day-by-day approach. So remember everything we covered so far. What is OCD? Practical, how it works. How to start finding help, educating yourself into ordering the books on the reading list. And remember, in the beginning, you're not supposed to feel better really at all. You're not supposed to, okay? There's no rule that says you're supposed to feel better. The goal is to start educating yourself on OCD. Oh, that makes sense. This does make sense, etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please comment down below. Subscribe, hit that like button if you like our content. And remember, info@OCDrecovery.com. If you're interested in our coaching services and webinar services, we have a plethora of different packages and webinar services with lots of people. We do huge Q&As. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.